This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight now, we bring you a discussion on India Water Week 2022, Water Security for Sustainable Development and Equity. The participants are A.B. Pandya, former Chairman, Central Water Commission, and Suresh Babu from World Wildlife Fund, India. Moderator is Sanjay Jha, journalist.
In effort to raise awareness, conserve and to use water resources in an integrated manner, Government of India is organizing the 7th edition of India Water Week from today. Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmuji, has inaugurated the event today. And to discuss more about this event and the drinking water situation in India, we have Mr. A.K. Pandya, former Chairman of Central Water Commission, and Mr. Suresh Babu from World Wildlife Fund, India. Mr. Suresh Babu, how is climate change affecting water situation in countries like India?
It's a big challenge for us, and I think we need to see water as a part of a system. We have our rivers, we have our wetlands, we have our groundwater, and all the three along with the catchments, that makes a system, and we need to manage the system together. And then only, we will be able to manage this crisis. On a positive note, I wanted to say that there are solutions that exist, and there are steps taken by hundreds of people across our country. And I think that should give us the inspiration and the solutions to go forward. Now, the challenge is also looking at the urban side of the story. Our cities are growing and our urbanization pressure is so huge, and we are already 40% people of the country living in urban areas, which is expected to grow even further. Now, unless we consider water footprint as an important decision-making indicator, we are not going to be in a safe zone in future. Why I'm saying this is because most of the cities are now eyeing for piped water. They are extracting water from rivers far from their own cities, traveling, the water travels hundreds of kilometers, the transmission losses, cost of pumping, etc. And most importantly, people get disconnected. Water is coming in my tap and I'm disconnected to the river. So we need to bring that people and the river connect back.
Mr. Pandya, Government of India is organizing the 7th edition of India Water Week. You have been associated with the water subject for a very long time. How important these kind of events are from water security for our country?
These events are very much necessary because water is everybody's business. Everyone has to consume water. Everybody has to have some water with which he can maintain the lifestyle or maintain the economy. From that angle, there are many facets of water, and unless all those facets are examined in its integrity, it's very difficult to come to a solution. And being many stakeholders, these kind of events provide all the stakeholders an opportunity to talk to each other, understand each other's needs and requirements, and by virtue of that, we carry out a kind of a vision, which then the governments and various other policymakers can follow.
Yeah, Mr. Pandya, you spoke about the importance of this event and why we need to organize it. We have seen the issue of sustainability of the water resources development. How do you think the water plays such an important role in the sustainable development?
Every aspect of economy or every aspect of the livelihoods is affected by water. The supply of the water resources have to be made sustainable at all times. We cannot have a break in the sustainability paradigm without creating enormous amount of economic or social tensions. So the sustainability of water is very important. On the other hand, we have a fixed quantum of water, and also that fixed quantum gets delivered in a random sort of way because of the randomness of the rainfall and also because of the various other factors that keep on changing. So ensuring that a random resource is made available on a reliable basis is the key to ensuring the sustainability, because the sustainability comes from there. We have to have sustainable water in order to see that our economy, our livelihoods are all protected, and they keep on providing us with the facilities with which we are able to survive and also progress.
I have a question, Mr. Pandya. How important is maintaining the water resources which we can preserve the water? Would we get to learn anything new out of this discussion?
Yes, maintenance of our water resources reliability is a very important topic. The scarcity of water generally arises from two factors. Number one factor is that if we do not have adequate provisions for storing and managing water, then we may have surplus of water at one season, and then we may have huge shortfall during the other seasons, and which leads to water scarcity. This kind of scarcity is largely an investment and a management problem. The other problem is that of the overall quantity that is available to the area in the form of its local resources. And if those resources are not in line with the kind of development paradigms that are being pursued by that particular area, then also the water scarcity results. So water scarcity is an issue which is affecting the countries worldwide. Many of the countries who are not able to establish the proper management systems, they have to face the increasing water security and water scarcity issues. In case of India also, we have got very huge variation in our agroclimatic setup. We have got very highly tropical regions. We have got the almost desertic regions where practically no rainfall takes place. And still we have to provide and we have to cater to the population living in those areas. And that is where some of the areas who experience scarcity have to be supplemented with the areas who are having rather rich in water resources. For that purpose, various schemes like this interbasin water transfer and various other aspects also have to be taken in order to see that we augment the supply and we balance the supply and demand in every area that is there in the country.
Mr. Suresh Babu, government schemes to ensure water security for all citizens, schemes like the Har Ghar Jal Yojana. Mr. Babu, how can we get public to participate in this program and achieve this mission?
You are the owner of your own water resource, and so unless you imbibe that sense of pride and ownership and give them enough capacity. There are models again from Gujarat and other places where water users associations have been so empowered that they know how to monitor groundwater, how to repair and maintain their water infrastructure, how to manage a wetland. So all these adds up, and as you rightly said, without the ownership of local stakeholders, this cannot be sustained. Therefore, the fundamental part is also decide on what interventions are needed based on the inputs from the local stakeholders themselves. And so a participatory approach, as we say, will go a long way in ensuring that these infrastructure that is created for water supply remains sustainable. And behavior change is the key. So you have early adopters who believes in sustainability and take steps, seeing them in other people learn and follow the path. And so I think a lot more emphasis on behavior change and going back to the traditions of our water management history in India will help us in ensuring sustainability.
Yeah, Mr. Pandya, in this edition of the India Water Week, we have also seen very good response from many foreign countries. Countries like Denmark, Singapore and Finland are the partner country for this event. These countries are quite remarkably achieved the water resources as well. Country like Singapore does not have much of the natural water, and but they are doing a fantastic work with the water. Similarly, the case with Finland has a lot of natural water. Denmark, so what are the lessons we can learn from these countries for our big population and when it comes to the water management?
We have to learn from these countries, like say for example from Singapore, efficient reuse and recycling policies for our urban conglomerations, where a lot of amount of water quality issues are coming up, especially in the downstream of these urban conglomerations. So those areas are something that we need to learn. In case of the countries like Finland and Denmark, they have got also very good simulation and modeling capabilities. They also have a very nice management strategies which are built upon the scientific data processing. So those modeling and those data processing facilities, etc., that we can learn from the countries like Denmark. As a country, we are open to various developments across the world, and we try to adopt the developments which are beneficial to our system. So there's this Denmark and Finland, being water-rich countries, will provide us with the simulation and modeling and visualization capacities, and simultaneously the reuse and recycling areas can be provided to the Singapore Association.
Mr. Pandya, our country gets a lot of rain, in a particular season. But there is not much of water harvesting concept prevalent around the country. Some state governments have initiated this effort. Some urban bodies in the cities like Delhi and many other cities, they are insisting every house owner to start the water harvesting. How important is that, and what are the schemes, for this water harvesting of the rainwater?
Harvesting of rainwater happens at various levels. Big dams also harvest what is called only the rainwater only. And then we have got the community level water harvesting, which is more popular, especially in the urban area. The community level water harvesting is quite important because it provides the local water resources without really relying upon the very large areas. But then simultaneously, the local water resources also have certain constraints in form of little lesser reliability and lesser capacity to cover the entire yearly cycle. So we have to have a mix of the water harvesting techniques at the larger scale in form of dams and reservoirs, and also we have to have the community-based schemes which are able to provide us the resilience when there are issues of the supply chain, when there are issues of the demand at the time when the larger source is unable to cope with that. Rainwater harvesting is getting promoted. Many of the municipalities and many of the local bodies are already making it mandatory on the part of the land developers to provide a specific amount of water harvesting capabilities in respect of their buildings. And many of the bylaws have already incorporated it. So that way this is getting promoted quite well.
Mr. Pandya, the technological innovations and solutions are helping the supply chain overall.
Yeah.
Around our life. So when it comes to the water supply chain, whether it's a piped water or preserving of the natural water, we just discussed about the water harvesting. What are the new technological advancement which we are adopting in this country? Because I believe there is an exhibition on technology and solutions for the areas under deliberation.
One of the main areas that we have to adopt is the data collection, because in case of water, the utilization and the supply have to be monitored. There are various factors like the quantity, the flow rate, the quality, etc. have to be monitored. We also need to monitor the climate in order to understand how the water cycle is progressing during a particular year. So all those areas are being covered in this specific exhibition. One of the major areas of water use efficiency is coming out of the drip and sprinkler and various other micro irrigation techniques. So those techniques are also there as a part of the exhibition. And simultaneously there are a number of other solutions, especially in the areas of desalination, in the areas of water treatment, which are also having many new technologies coming up very soon. So those areas are getting exposed through this exhibition, and that is where the exhibition will become very beneficial to the event participants.
Mr. Pandya, also we have seen that apart from the discussions, you have a lot of trust on exhibitions about many subjects. Parallel event of exhibition as well as discussion in India Water Week is helping to send the message across to all the stakeholders related to the water business.
Going to be an information exchange mechanism in which we are able to learn from each other. There are many other issues which are there as a part of this Water Week celebration, in which we are talking about the water security, we are talking about the cooperative water management, we are talking about the various technologies that are there. So all those areas we are talking about, and this will provide a lot of information to the researchers and workers in the field, as well as the practitioners of the field who will know about the various experiences that are being gathered across the country. This India Water Week provides us a platform where we are able to exchange the information and provide and make a knowledge base, which then will go a long way in ensuring the India's water security.
This event is going to go on for next 5 days. What are the important sessions we can expect?
We have got water security jointly organized by International Commission on Irrigation and Drainage, Central Water Commission and Indian National Committee on Irrigation and Drainage, where we are going to talk about all aspects of water security, and we have got the experts from all over the country who will be talking to us on that front. We are also having the special sessions organized for the role of civil society in the water resources management. We have got a special session organized by the Denmark and Finland, where they are exposing the technical solutions and managerial solutions. There are a number of sessions which are there during this 5-day workshop.
How important do you think is to take the message from this deliberations to the people on the ground in the different states?
This is a very important message, because in case of water, being a very distributed kind of subject, one collective voice of the professionals from various subfields of water resources management comes out through this India Water Week event, which then provides us with the guidelines and with the future direction.
There is a need for continuous effort of conservation and management of this precious natural resource. and let's hope that these efforts would bring a change in public mind. Thanks a ton, Mr. Pandya and Mr. Babu, for participating in this important discussion.
You were listening to a discussion on India Water Week 2022, Water Security for Sustainable Development and Equity. The participants were A.B. Pandya, former Chairman, Central Water Commission, and Suresh Babu from World Wildlife Fund India. Moderator was Sanjay Jha, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.